the Always Believe House. Today we're going to start Star Review Category 3. We got 2 days of this, and then you're going to watch 2 video reviews and get ready for your STAR test. Y'all are going to do wonderful on that test. Just keep believing, okay? Just keep believing. And a magical whiteboard appears, and let's start rocking and rolling on these problems. Okay, these problems you've been doing on your STAR reviews almost all year long. You've been writing the domain and range of these. On the discrete ones, you may have been doing these incorrectly, so I'm going to show you how to do these, okay? So let's go through. On the first problem here, Bubba Bob starts off with 60 bucks. Each ride requires 6 tickets, and each ticket is 50 cents. So to ride one ride, I need 6 tickets times 50 cents is $3, right? So to ride one ride, I need $3 to spend, and I'm going to spend that, and I'm going to get 6 tickets. I won't get 1 ticket, I won't get 2 tickets, I'll get 6 tickets, right? So let's make a T-chart of this, okay? Notice also the amount of money left is a function of the number of tickets. Y is a function of X, right? So let's make a T-chart, X and Y. X is going to be tickets, Y is going to be the money. Okay, 0 tickets, he's got 60 bucks, doesn't he? Now that he's not going to buy 1 ticket, he's going to buy 6 tickets to ride a ride, isn't he? So at 6 tickets, he would have $57, would he? Is this making sense? Then at 12 tickets, he would have $54. At 18 tickets, he would have $51. This would be ... all the way down to the end. How many rides can he ride? 60 divided by 3 is 20, right? Okay, so 20 tickets would be 100, or 20 rides would be 120 tickets. He would have $0 left. So at 120 tickets, which would be enough for 20 rides, he would have $0 left. Okay, this is going to be my domain and range, okay? So really quickly, the domain is going to be, the X is the number of tickets. The range is the money left. And remember, Y is a function of X. This would be a discrete function because he's not continuously losing money. He's spending 6 tickets. Every 6 tickets cost him $3. So this is how, scratch out the X and Y, just put a bar. This is how you would write your domain and range. Always go from small to big. So my domain would start a brace. It would start at 0, go to 6, 12, 18, put ... then 114 and 120. Okay, so that would be my domain. And notice it's discrete. I'm only buying it in sets of 6 tickets. We would not use the inequalities here because we're never going to spend 1.5 tickets, okay? Now then the money left, it also goes from the small to the big. It's going to start at 0, go up to 3, and notice it's going to be sets of 3s, right? 9, and then 57, 60, right? It's going to go up by sets of 3s. Just when you read this, try to think if you're continuously like water draining in a tank. That would be a continuous down. You would use inequalities for that. On this problem here, you'll never ever have $59.80. You're always going to go down in sets of 3 because you're riding rides, okay? And each ride is $3. Kind of confusing me. Just think about that. If you're not continually draining something or continually using gas or something like that, you're not going to use inequalities. Let's go to number 2. That's really hard to explain because I haven't done a good job teaching you that all year. We've always used inequalities to write down the domain and range. Okay, on number 2, he burns 100 calories for every 5 minutes. What I messed up on this is he doesn't stop exercising. So basically, this graph looks like that, doesn't it? It starts at 0, 0, and it just goes up, right? Every 5 minutes, he burns 100 calories, right? The number of calories depends on the minutes jogged. Y depends on X. So the domain is going to be the number of minutes, and the range is going to be the calories burned. And this would be continuous, wouldn't it? Because you could run like 30 seconds and stop. So you're continually burning calories as you're going. We're going to use inequalities to do this. Okay, so our domain, the number of minutes, it's going to start at 0. It doesn't say when he stops. So it's going to go to infinity, and we would use less than or equal symbols, right? Okay, so the domain starts at 0 and it goes to infinity. That's the number of minutes you're jogging. Okay, the range is the calories. It's also going to start at 0 and it's going to go to infinity depending on how much he jogs, okay? Because the arrow won't stop, will it? It just keeps going up and up and up. If I said he was jogging for 1 hour, then we would have limits on this, okay? But I did not word it that way. Let's go to number 3, okay? Same kind of thing here. She has 20 caramels and she eats 2 every day. Y'all have done this on the Staar reviews all year long. She's going to run out of candies at 10 days, isn't she? And we've done 0 to 10 and 0 to 20 for the domain and range, but that's a continuous function. This is actually discrete because she's never going to have 19.6 caramels. She's going to go down in units of 2. Okay? The number of caramels is a function of the number of lunches, so y is a function of x. So your domain is going to be the number of lunches, and the y, the range, is going to be the number of caramels. And the same thing, let's make a t-chart, x and y. So x is how many lunches she eats. So at 0 lunches, she has 20 caramels, right? After 1 lunch, she has 18. After 2, she has 16. Notice it's not going down continuously, right? She's going to have 1 lunch, boom, she's eaten 2 caramels, now she only has 18. She'll never have 19.8 caramels. She'll never do 1.5 lunches. She has a whole number of lunches, a whole number of caramels. This is going to continue to go down until 9 lunches and then 10 lunches. She'll have 2 and 0, right? So at 10 lunches, 10 times 2 is 20. She's going to run out of caramels, right? Okay, so the domain, we would not use the x and the y. The domain would be the number of lunches. It's going to be 0, 1, 2, dot, dot, dot. And then usually you put the last 2, 9, 10. And remember, this would be a discrete function, so you're using this, okay? If you're buying tickets or eating something like this, usually it's discrete. Like number 1, you're buying tickets. That's going to be a discrete function. You won't use inequalities, okay? Try to get the hang of this. You should not miss these on the Staar. You're going to have one like this, okay? Now then, the caramels. You don't start at 20 and go to 0. Remember, you always 0 to big. So the number of caramels is going to be 0, and she eats 2 a day, right? And then 18, 20. So that would be how many caramels, and that would be how many lunches, right? Okay, I know that's confusing. If you have trouble, message me, okay? If you have trouble with that, message me. Let's go to the next set, okay? Write linear equations of various forms given 1 point and the slope and given 2 points. This is not easy, okay? This is pretty tough because you got to get the slope and use point slope, okay? Now then, I'm going to show you a trick on number 4. On number 4, you could use the calculator, okay? So we're going to plug these in. So over here, let's make a t-chart, x and y, and we're going to have 9, -6, 24, 4. I could put that in the calculator and it would give me the slope and the y-intercept. So let's do that. I'm going to go to the calculator. I'm going to hit the home button. I'm going to click 1 for new. And I do not want to save anything on the test. You may not be allowed to because it's going to be a test mode. And then we're going to add a spreadsheet 4. Okay, now then remember, you got to put x and y at the top. And then you go to that first row, the white. Never put anything in the gray. And then I'm just going to put the order pairs in there. Sorry about that. 9, 24 is my x's. So 9, enter, 24, those are my x's. I'm going to go up here and put my y's in, -6 and 4. -6, enter, 4. Now then, this is going to give me the m and the b. It will not give me slope. It will not give me standard, and it won't give me point slope. I can get that later. But this will give me the slope. So I'm going to hit menu. Stats is 4. Stat calculations is 1. And then we want a linear regression. Remember, you can also use quadratic and exponential if needed. Quadratic would be 6 and exponential would be a. You may have to do that on Staar. We're going to do 3. And then x down, y down, enter. X down, y down, enter. And then boom, we got my m and my b, don't we? Now then, notice the m is 0.6666. I hope y'all know that that's 2/3. Okay, so really quickly, the m is 0.666 and the b is what? -12. Now then, you got to have the common know-how to switch that decimal to a fraction. I hope you know 1/3 is 0.333 and 2/3 is 0.666. This is going to equal to 2/3, right? I could write this equation. Is it positive or negative? It is going to be a positive, and the b is -12. So this would be y equal 2/3x minus 12. Now then, how would I switch that to standard? I'm going to get rid of the fraction, right? So 3, 3, 3. I'm going to bluebell truck the denominator. That would give me 3y equals 2x minus 36. And then I'm going to move the 2x over. -2x plus 3y equals -36. Switch every sign, and I've got my standard form, right? If I plug these order pairs into that equation, it's going to work. Okay? Piece of cake. So if they give you 2 points, you could do a linear regression and get the slope and the y-intercept, okay? The slope will be a decimal. You got to switch that decimal to a fraction. If you can't do that, you got to do it by hand, okay? Real quickly, if you did it by hand, if we put tick marks here, from 9 to 24 is 15, and from -6 to 4, that's a positive 10 in it. And then the 10 over 15 would be the 2/3, wouldn't it? Okay? So if you can't do it by hand, if you can't switch that decimal, you got to do it by hand, then you would have plugged it into point slope and switched it, which is what we're going to do next, okay? So on number 5, we know the point and the slope. We're going to use point slope. So y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. This is some of the hardest stuff you did in the fall. And it's not hard. Once you did like 5 or 6 of these, it got easy, okay? So this is my x, this is my y. Y plus 4 equals -4/5 parentheses x minus 30. Plug it into point slope. Y'all should be pretty good at that. Now then, we're going to distribute the denominator, right? We're going to get rid of the fraction, right? So I'm going to have 5y plus 20 equals the -4 goes to the right, doesn't it? So it's going to be -4x plus 120. Okay, now then, I want slope-intercept form. So the first thing you always do is move over that 20, right? We're going to move the 20 to the 120. That gives me 5y equals -4x plus 100. Then divide by 5, and bam, I got my answer. So my answer is y equals -4/5x plus 20. Ho, 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 ho. Remember, on your test, you may want standard, you may want slope-intercept, and they may want point slope. You got to be able to generate all 3 of those equations, not just mx plus b. That's why I'm teaching you to plug into point slope and switch it, okay? Let's go to the next one. This won't be hard because all they want is point slope, so we just need the slope. If you have trouble getting the slope, you could do you could do it just like this, where you do where you generate the table. We could do that, okay? Let's get the slope by hand. We're going to use the slope formula this time. So we're going to do 8 minus 14, and then we're going to do 16 minus -8. Please put this in the calculator. Don't miss this because you don't know how to do integers. Okay? So this is going to turn into -6 over 24, which is going to be -1 over 4. That's my m. If I did it with a table, there's another teacher at the school that does it with a table every time, and the kids are doing great with it. Okay? If I do it with a table, from -8 to 16 is a positive 24 direction. And from 14 to 8, you're going backwards. That's -6 in it. Notice I get my -6 and my 24 doing it that way, don't I? Okay, so this is my m, and let's use the positive ones, x and y. So now that I'm just going to write down point slope. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So y minus 8 equals -1/4 parentheses x minus 16. Piece of cake. Oh, oh, oh. Remember, you've got to be able to get point slope, standard, and y-intercept, okay? So make sure you can do that. Turn the page. Okay, on number 7, I would just plug this into the table. If you plug this in the table the same way you did this one, you would get the mx plus b. I'm going to do it by hand though, okay? Try to get the order of pairs. I'm going to pick these two. So I'm going to make the 2 tick marks, and I'm going to find out how many units they go. From -8 to +4 is 12 positive units. From 10 to 1, I'm going backwards. That's -9, isn't it? This is my y minus y. This is my x minus x. So my slope's -9/12. My slope's going to be -3/4. I want slope-intercept form, don't I? I'm going to use this as my x and this is my y. I'm going to plug this into point slope and switch it. So y minus 1 equals -3/4 parentheses x minus 4. Now then, when you're right here, you want to get rid of the fraction, don't you? So I'm going to distribute my I'm going to bluebell truck the denominator. That gets rid of that fraction. The -3 goes to the right, doesn't it? So the denominator goes left, the numerator goes right. So 4y minus 4 equals -3x plus 12. First thing you want to do is move over that 4. So 4y equals -3x plus 16. And the last thing we're going to do is divide by 4. And that's going to give me my answer, because I want slope-intercept form. So y equals -3/4 x plus 4. Oh, 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 oh. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Oh, oh, oh. That is a blast. You would have got -0.75 and 4 if you would have done the table. So if you would have plugged that into the calculator and done the table, probably would have been quicker than all this work. Your M would have been -0.75, your B would have been 4, and just make the equation out. Let's go to the next one. Okay, on this one we want standard form. I'm going to show you all a trick here, okay? First off, let's get the slope, okay? The slope goes from here to here. It goes down and over. It goes down to right 1. So I know my M is equal to -2/1. And remember, if you have standard form, I'm going to put it up here. AX plus BY equals C. Your slope is always -A/B, right? Look at what my slope is, -2/1. That's my A, that's my B in it. But the negative would go with the 1, wouldn't it? So my equation is going to be 2x minus 1y, or 2x minus y. I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? That is going to be my standard cut, because the -b/2a, I'm sorry, this is going to be +1, because I got to switch it, don't I? So if I put -a/b, I will get -2/1, wouldn't I? Now then, I got to get this number, don't I? So to get this number, just pick a point. Let's pick this point. That point is 1, 2. Replace the x and y with 1 and 2. So 2 times 1 plus 1 times 2 is equal to 4. That 4 would go right here. Now then, y'all watch this. This is cool. If I do 4 divided by 2, I get my x-intercept. My x-intercept is 2 in it. That's also called the zero of the function in it. If I do 4 divided by 1, I get my y-intercept, and my y-intercept's 4 in it. So that's an easy way to form standard. So you get your slope. The slope will turn into the numbers in front of the A and the B. Your slope, this negative and this sign right here, will always be opposites, okay? Your x is always positive in it. But your y term, your plus by, whatever the by is, that sign and the slope will always be opposites, because the slope is -A/B. Then you plug a point in and you find out what this C number is, right? And that's how you do standard, okay? Piece of cake. And remember, when you do C over A and C over B, you get your X and Y intercepts. Let's go to the next one. Okay, on this one right here, I like using growing number and starting number. Remember that? So she deposits 50, that's her starting number. Hold on. Then she deposits $20 each week. That's her growing number in it. Okay, if the amount of money in the account, Y, is a function of the number of weeks, X, so Y is going to equal to 20x, and X is going to be the number of weeks plus the $50 she starts off with. That's how you get your MX plus B. Okay? So the slope is basically your growing number. It's what the account's growing by or shrinking by if she's withdrawing. And your starting number is your initial amount, right? GX plus S, easy way to get a verbal description to MX plus B. Can't miss a problem like that, okay? Turn the page! These sets of problems are pretty tough because you're generating equations. It's not easy. Now then, on this one right here, this is huge. Direct variation means that the domain and range are what? Proportional. Set up and solve a proportion, okay? Now then, they also use y equals kx. Remember, where k is the constant of variation, right? So make sure you can set these up, but basically you're solving a proportion, okay? He purchased 12 gallons of gasoline for this. So if I do 34.2 divided by 12, go to your calculator, hit home, hit A for calculate, and then 34.2 divided by 12, $2.85. So $2.85 is my K. That's my slope, right? Jimmy John purchased $15 at the same rate. How much did Jimmy John and Bubba Bob purchase for the gasoline? So you would do y equals 2.85x and then plug in the 15, right? That would be how much money Bubba Bob spent for gas. So if I go back up to here and punch times 15, did he buy 15 gallons? Yeah, 15 gallons. Okay, I get 42.75. Now then, the problem wants how much they both purchased, right? So I would add those up. 34.20 plus 42.75. And I would add those up and I would get, what? My brain's going out. 76.95. That's how much both of them bought, right? You can also do this with a proportion. You could put 12 over 34.2 equals 15 over x. And then if you solve for x, you would have got the 42.75 and you would have added up the numbers, okay? Make sure you can set this up though, okay? Make sure you can set that y equal kx up. But if you have trouble and you just need the answer, just set a proportion. I'm going to do one more for you. Okay, Lucy Claire purchased 3.5 ounce bottle of Mystic Manly Bean Colloidal. Oh, that makes you smell Manly Bean, guys. You get that at the Walgreens in an East Texas small town. Okay, for $24.90. If the price varies directly with the ounces, how much would Emma Sue buy for a 5 ounce bottle? So with the proportion, you would put 3.5 over 29.4 equals 5 over x. It would be ounces over dollars, right? Now then, let's do this. Y equal kx. And let's do 29.4 divided by 3.5. So 29.4 divided by 3.5. And you get $8.40 an ounce, don't you? This would be 8.4. So if I were to do my y equal kx, I would put y equals 8.4, and then I want to find the cost of a 5 ounce bottle, right? That's exactly the same answer you would get doing the proportion. That's exactly the same answer you would get as doing the proportion. This is using direct variation. This is the 6th grade math using a proportion, okay? I'm going to let you do number 12 on your own. You got to find about the cost of gizzards. Go to Hart's Chicken and you can get all the gizzards you want. There's a Hart's Chicken in downtown Rosenberg. Go down there and check it out. They actually sell gizzards. Okay. We're going to do one more set of problems and then that's it, okay? We're going to do the rest tomorrow because this is kind of lengthy, okay? Write the equational line that goes given a point and is parallel to the given line. So we need the slope of the line and it's going to be parallel. And then we're going to use point slope and switch it. So this one right here, my m is 3/4, right? And I want a new slope that's parallel. The slope won't change, will it? So my m stays 3/4. This is my point. I'm going to put this in a point slope and switch it. So y minus 1 equals 3/4 parentheses x plus 4. Like I said, this is the hardest thing you did in the fall. You're going to have problems like this on the test. You just got to be able to do the arithmetic. It's not that difficult. When you get it to here, remember, we want to get rid of that 4, don't we? So we're going to bluebell truck 4. That delimitate, that Control-Alt-Delete your denominator, doesn't it? And then this 3 goes to the right. So 4y minus 4 equals 3x plus 12. And then I want standard form. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is move the 4 over. So I'm going to get 4y equals 3x plus 8, or plus 16 actually, right? Now then, if I want mx plus b, I divide by 4. If I want standard, the 3x goes to the left. So let's move the 3x to the left. Negative 3x plus 4y equals 16. And then the x is negative, so we're going to switch every sign. Ding, 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 ding. That's my answer. Piece of cake, okay? You need the slope and a point. Just plug it into point slope and switch it. Remember, they may want point slope. They may want standard. They may want y-intercept. They could give you all 3 of those equations as a possible answer choice. So you got to get all of them. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this will be the last one I do for you on this one. A line is parallel to this equation. Remember, negative a over b is my slope, which is going to be negative 3 over negative 2, which is a positive 3 over 2 in it. Okay, I want a new slope that's parallel so the slope won't change, will it? So my m stays 3 over 2, and my point is 8 negative 3. That's going to be my x and y. I'm going to plug this into point slope and switch it to slope intercept form. So y minus, or y plus 3 equals, because the opposite of a negative 3 is a positive 3, 3 over 2 parentheses x minus 8. The next thing I'm going to do is get rid of this fraction right here. So I'm going to bluebell truck or distribute the 2. That's going to get rid of those 2's in it. So I'm going to get 2y plus 6 equals, the 3 goes to the right, 3x minus 24. Now then, I want slope intercept, so I'm going to move the 6 over and divide by 2. So let's move over the 6, subtract 6, move that 6 to the 24. 2y equals 3x minus 30, and then divide by 2, right? If I wanted standard, the 3x would go to the left, wouldn't it? So y equals 3 over 2x minus 15 is my answer. Ho, 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 ho. I'm going to let you do 15 on your own. I will post the key to all of these, okay? Next set's a little bit simpler, okay? This is not easy to do. This is one of the hardest things you got to do, especially if you're given 2 points and you got to do this because you got to get the slope. Okay, it's not easy to do. Just use point slope and switch it. Y'all can do this, okay? Just keep believing in yourself. Y'all are going to do wonderful on your STAR test. The night before the STAR test, just read through these papers, okay? You are going to do wonderful. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things. Always believe, and you are awesome.